Once again, we'd like to welcome you to today's edition of The Morning Call. Fresh anti-government protests have rocked Sudan since Saturday in what appears to be a new phase of the 4-month popular uprising against President Omar al-Bashir's regime. Thousands of demonstrators staged protests in the capital Khartoum outside the presidential palace, which also hosts the army headquarters and the defense ministry. This is the first time protesters reached the army headquarters, a sign that security forces resolve to put down the rebellion may be weakening. Saturday's demonstrations marked the anniversary of the 1985 military coup that overthrew autocratic President Jafar Nimeiri after mass protests against his rule, thus representing an apparent escalation of the revolt. Reports indicate that so far 5 people have been killed from the weekend protest, though security forces claim that only 1 person had died.
Effectivement, Lynette, les autorités soudanaises.
The Sudanese authorities and the NGOs on the ground are announcing divergent assessments. Human Rights Watch mentioned a few days ago at least 51 deaths since the beginning of the movement, while the government reported 32 people killed. It should be noted that this protest movement in the country began in December 2018, the day after the government's decision to triple the price of bread as part of an austerity program to alleviate the economic crisis in Sudan. On February 22nd, the head of state urgently decreed across the territory to quell the revolts, a measure that seems to be bearing fruit, at least until April 8, a day marked by a resurgence in the popular mobilization.
Hafiz Mohammed of Justice Africa Sudan joins us now to try to understand what these latest protests in Sudan mean. Thank you very much for joining us in the program. There seems to be a renewed spirit among the Sudanese people as demonstrators press on to demand President Omar al-Bashir to step down. What do you think is the greatest motivation now?
The level of the protests and demonstration have actually increased. I think the reason for that because for the last almost 3 months, every time there is new people actually taking part in the demonstrations, and now it become like a social event more than just a political demonstration. And I think the main motivation for that is people believe that, by keeping the pressure on the government, that they will be able to change it. They will be able to oust President Bashir and his regime. And that is actually the main motivation. The other thing is the failure of the regime to run the country, especially the economy, because the current economic situation is so bad and is deteriorating by day, not even by week or by months. Every day things are getting worse and worse. So the lack of cash, lack of bread, lack of fuel, and everything is become, not available. And that is what actually pushing many people who are used to be neutral in these events. Now they join.
Monsieur Mohamed,
many rumors and contradictory information have been circulating since the beginning of last weekend. It has been reported, for example, that President Omar al-Bashir has reportedly left Sudanese territory. In any case, it seems the government is losing ground in the face of popular pressure.
There's too many rumors regarding the position and the whereabouts of President Bashir. But until now, there is no confirmation from credible sources that he left the country. There's a lot of rumors circulating in the social media, but no credible sources or no official sources actually telling people where his whereabouts. We hear about meetings of the National Security Council, which is he's supposed to be the chair of that council. The meetings have taken place, and there is some decision actually came out of these meetings, and they are saying he's there, and the meetings took place in the presidential palace. That means he's there, and there is no confirmation that he left the country, and no one actually say where is he going or where she's gone, and that is a problem. I think the demonstration and the protest have putting a lot of pressure on the government, and they actually don't know what to do because they don't have solution for the current problem.
And Hafiz, so far reports suggest that 5 people were killed during the weekend protests. What would you say about the loss of lives as these protests continue?
With regard to loss of life, I think the regime is trying to disperse the protesters from in front of the headquarters of the army, because that will cause them problem and actually show them as losing control of things, and they want to show the world that they are still controlling everything. That is why they use heavy-handed tactics, include live ammunition, to disperse the protesters. But that doesn't work actually. Even using the tear gas and suddenly disconnecting the internet, because they don't want anyone to know the news, and they don't want people to spread out the chaos which is happening due to the live ammunition and use of tear gas. But at the end of the day, that never deter people from staying, because many people are joining the protest, and there is people is still there, and the number is increasing, not only in front of the headquarters of the army, but all the surrounding street, going towards the bridges also. There is a lot of people there still demonstrating.
And of course, the world is also watching to see what will come out of this protest. But thank you very much, Hafiz, for accepting to speak to us. Hafiz Mohammed of Justice Africa Sudan, speaking to us from Sudan's capital, Khartoum.
Nous allons quitter
You're still watching the morning call. Let's now bring you some other news making headlines across the continent in Africa Journal.